My ever-growing appetite to experience the diverse places in Bhutan takes me to a place called Zhemgang, one of the poorest and the least populated dzongkhags in Bhutan. Zhemgang is mostly made up of steep, inhospitable, and unproductive terrain, making the dzongkhag nearly impossible to produce any sort of cash crops, let alone making the travel within any easier. Tripping over nothing at all. When we do, we realize. But what I have personally found is that what the Khenpas lack in monetary wealth, they make up in their rich, vibrant culture, filled with spectacular folk tales and folk songs, accompanied by their unconditional kindness that is now rarely seen in the more developed dzongkhags. To see why the Khenpas still call Zhemgang their home, despite the inhospitable terrain, first and foremost, I'm going to visit Zhemgang Dzong to enlighten myself of their history. I'm gazing upon the amazing structure that has shaped the history of Kendrick Namsum. This is Zhemgang Dzong. Welcome to the amazing, wonderful land of the Khenpas. Zhemgang Dzong was built around the 16th century and played a pivotal role in shaping the history of the Kendrick Namsum, lasting for 1,000 years. In 1163, Lama Zhang, a learned monk of the Drukpa Kaju, built a small temple here at the current location of the Dzong. Thus, he became the founder of Zhemgang Dzong. Lama Zhang found a small village in what is now Zhemgang town. He cleared the dense forest and built a small hermitage at the current location of the Dzong. Historically, Zhemgang Dzong was built around 1655, but was continuously ravaged by earthquakes for years to come. It is known that the last reconstruction was done by the third Druk Gyalpo in 1963. Zhemgang has been known to be ruled by quite a number of Dzongpons throughout its history, and they all use this prominent structure as the center of their power. So Trongsa Penlop, being one of the most powerful Penlop here in Bhutan, usually appointed Zhemgang Dzongpons, and as a Dzongpon, he ruled all the villages that surrounded the Dzong. And because the Dzong is located at a strategic location right on top of the hill, I can imagine being the Dzongpon watching over the valley through a window exactly like this. It must have been quite an amazing time. And one of the longest reigning Dzongpon was Minjur from Jokha Koche, and he reigned for 17 years. So Zhemgang Dzong was formerly known as Zhemgang Dzong. Zheng, which was derived from Lama Zheng himself, and Gang, which means it was built on top of a hill. But as time passed, Zhemgang slowly turned into Zhemgang, and that's how Zhemgang got its name. What an extraordinary start to Kendrick Namsum. These are the exact kind of rich folktales that attracts me to visit my next location, Buli, a place located in Middle Keng that is filled with the tales of the famous Tirthenpema Lingpa, and I'm sure there are plenty of folklores that I can dive into. The best thing for me is the fact that I'm traveling to Buli during Losar,
which means everyone is in a festive mood, and it's the perfect time for me to immerse myself into their culture and do what the locals do. Buli happens to be one of the few villages in Zhemgang that is quite wealthy. Located in Nangkor Gewog, this village enjoys the rich fertile soil, unlike the rest of the Dzongkhag. Being a prosperous village, the feeder road is probably the best road I've seen throughout my travels.
So today I'm on my way to Buli, the heart of Zhemgang, and I'm welcomed by this amazing structure called Mani Dangre. And what's special about this Mani Dangre is that it's believed that Pema Lingpa used to play Degor, one of our traditional sports, on this very spot.
But I must say, getting to this place known as Guru's Oasis is a long journey, about 60 kilometers, from Trong. I can't wait to celebrate New Year's with the Kengpas.
Lamdi auto to do me na mahulera la. Lamdi la.
Dakhle na se lam motok te chil.
Lasso.
Tina heshina sa di gol.
Imela pa.
Shi har gyogi ni kar he manale jibu.
Nalerela.
Nale bethin nale be chete sa wale bethin jogol.
Las.
Tare be si tanga chi digi jiru na hebda gulam te ni digi tani lamdi da to. Dilimi si chamchi matur tile. Ki wo shingi ni nale jinji de. Sige sa wo.
So as I enter Buli village, it is truly beautiful. It's almost like as if I'm entering a picturesque poster of a beautiful village, and this truly is amazing. It's on top of a hill, and as you get on top, it becomes nice and flat. And it's really beautiful. And I'm gonna go meet Agye Tsringwanchu, who could tell us more about Buli and about his history.
Buli simiti dato besa ngachi buli silabila.
Las.
Hema vente buli mema beyu ne men.
Beyu.
Onda. Ya chimi duwa mo.
Las.
Ani chumi ulu beyu sibi.
Las.
Ani godina le yin singme. Ani chachu ani bela bila.
Las.
Te pakapchile te ngachi pam tisi kaplo te buli peme tanka kap changi drami sejalo. Simiti su shule melani so. Hemagi rimpati vente ani bime. Te nalialo godina le benedigi. Te beyu godina le benedigi. Beyu siti ani be yin sing. Te tatogi ni duni vente ngachi buli siti lamidi. Mapa injiji mela de na sa buli simiti burling. Sa buli buru benedigi di uno. Yu chani digi te burling simiti ani me.
Las.
Hema gunchu sugi dinalu daribeo da gun vipchi halam te pa pamna tena yuka demsu kara si chapta da gun chachi de chiromona chachi animchomona animchia sendita gunchu sugi pipilans pana mi wondi bizongdo men na lerate gungi nale pipi kora chim terasa anibe sozo te gun anime yasi.
Buli was actually called Bayul because Guru had visited here, and it's supposedly known as Guru's Bayul. And wherever Guru had visited, Tertin Pema Lingpa had come and visited as well. And this very particular location was where Tertin Pema Lingpa practiced his art of blacksmith. So this is quite a wonder because they found it like that and hasn't been changed ever since they have found it. They don't know how old it is. It must be really, really old, and it still remains just like that. And this is quite remarkable. So this is quite beautiful. It's a King Luxi, King mannerism, way, tradition to serve alcohol to any stranger or people. And I'm gonna taste it. Kids don't drink.
The locals tell me that having come to Buli, I must visit the sacred Buli Thomen Lake to pay my respect to the local deity.
So the final must to see here in Buli village is Buli Lake, also known as Buli Thomen, but the locals call it Nagi Gachila Nala, that's all, Nagi Kanala. Buli Menmo. But the locals call it Buli Menmo, and this is a must to see. And Levi Tokpa is taking me there so I can check it out. Come on, Jinshla.
Being very proud of his village, the Tokpa once again escorts me to the lake. On the way, we are greeted by a family of white monkeys, and with excitement, the Tokpa tells me it is truly a good sign.
So we've just witnessed white monkeys, and the locals believe that it's a good omen. So we're truly lucky, especially since we're visiting the holy Buli Lake Thomen. It's really good omen. I'm really excited. This is amazing. Just a family of monkeys just running up.
Buli Thomen Lake is located on the outskirts of the village, hidden away by thick forest. It is said that when visitors visit this lake, the lake projects different images for every individual, and the images can be a sign of a good or a bad omen. I really hope I'll be blessed with a good sign for many safe and enjoyable journeys still yet to come.
This is quite amazing. The lake is pretty much hidden by all these trees. If you didn't know there was a lake here, I mean, you couldn't find this lake at all because it's just covered and hidden. And wow, it's amazing. It's just nice and clean. You see all these trees around it, but you don't see a piece of leaf. It's clean. You don't see any leaf on the lake. This is amazing.
등아치레 아니베 따와친 신기 부남에 신기 숑타온 고베 이날로 거래기 님레 세마바 로바남 남치 비어 봄쇼 니베 거래 나치 칼레베치 픽성만 슬라우나 사페짬니 사페짬이 비아니기 마팔레라나 로발레 나텐데 아님치 칼로코 나기 라주도 베코 henka jiona
tani jenny di leve cheregi thonchigala
thonchila ngachi atara thon ta anim chha hebda khoda mapalera ta khoraya kati juina meshibela ngachi naayomchi koanina labe ani sabha chapti di banar dinaram jaungla ka chuinar meshila ta ani zumchi ngachi yani be thon isi nala mito ta kami undola bale ola aba mito chade bala 다 제가 진디 아니라 메토 참치 디노 나메 사메 마슈기 아니나로 당돌랑벨라 메토 온데라 메토 샤이라 내가 지기 불리기 다 이고기 디나로 코 잡처 좀 집에 내가 지기 댄사디 콜로 내가 지 아님치 나나사사 주마추 가라테 자니 투니 접조 외메디 소민까지 이 세션이다.
The serenity of the lake is truly magical as I perform my prostration in full veneration, offering a simple gift of incense. I can't believe this natural lake is the source of their wealth, with magical powers to seal the fate of the villagers. It is remarkable that such beliefs are the sole reasons for keeping our environment healthy and clean, along with keeping our body, mind, and speech in the right path.
So if Buli village wasn't already welcoming, the people of Buli, they're so welcoming. I mean, our host family, Nevitokpa, has organized a dance where everybody from the village has gathered and we're going to be dancing. I mean, I've never experienced anything like this in my entire tour of Bhutan, and yet there's still more to come, but Buli, Zhemgang, has been so welcoming. I'm gonna go join and dance with the ladies with this traditional, amazing dancing and singing. I can't believe it. So come on, let's dance. What an ending to Buli. There's certain places where you visit and you immediately fall in love with it. And Buli village has been one of those places, and as soon as I entered, it's just been a beautiful experience, and the whole day that I stayed in Buli village has been wonderful. The people are wonderful, the language is wonderful, and the celebration is amazing with so much culture and tradition. It's truly been beautiful. I'm a little saddened, of course, because it's such a beautiful culture, but I gotta get going. There's more beautiful other villages to see, so I'm always hungry to see more, but I will miss Buli village.
Sad but hungry for more exposure of the Kengpo way of life, I head further to the southern parts of Zhemgang, and immediately the vegetation is much different and the chilled air turns comfortably to a lukewarm state. We enter the Royal Manas Wildlife Sanctuary Park to head to my next location, Dunmang Thachu. Dunmang Thachu is located in a place called Praling, about 5 hours drive from Buli, and we have to pass through Tingtibi. We are met with really bad road conditions, delaying our trip. Some stretches of road are so precarious. Till this day, I still wonder how we managed to keep our cool and storm through these bad roads. These roads are newly constructed and delays are quite frequent as loose soil and rocks pile up on the road. Heavy machineries are a constant sight as they are on a schedule to clear the rocks and level the ground for a smoother flow of vehicles.
So I've just reached Praling. It's been a long ride, and because they're widening the road, it's taken us even much longer, and the drive has been quite scary at times. But finally here in Praling, and this is where the road ends to go descend down to the Thachu, and hopefully the Thachu will be much rewarding and relaxing. But it's getting dark. We got here a bit late because of the road widening. Hopefully we'll make it down there before it gets too dark. So let's get going. An interesting thing about this particular place is that it's called Praling, and which is quite funny because you see a lot of monkeys around, and pra in Kengpa means monkey, so this is quite funny. But I gotta get down to the Thachu. We might lose light, and hopefully we won't get our way lost, and let's go down there. finally reached here at Dunmang Tachu. It's pitch dark, but luckily we made it. Can't see anything, so I'm gonna get a good night rest, and early in the morning I'll go check out the hot springs. So the morning reveals such a rugged place, and Dunmang Tachu is located on the side of a cliff, and these cliffs, they rise to such an altitude you could barely see anything beyond these huge mountains. And an important fact about Dunmang Tachu is that it's one of the 4 sacred holy hot springs of Guru Rinpoche, and it's located right by the Mangdi Chu. And before I take a nice dip, I'm gonna offer some incense.
The place looks as if someone's imagination just came to life. In the depths of steep mountains, covered with loose jagged rocks, lies a small guest house, connected by an even more precarious suspension bridge. Like a prehistoric lost land, there is an unsettling beauty about this place. It is truly a very temperamental oasis, as loose rocks constantly fall down towards unsuspecting visitors. There have been few fatal accidents in the past due to falling rocks. A friendly advice to all who wants to visit Dunmang Tachu is to tread carefully and with full belief of the powers of Guru Rinpoche in the heart and the mind. But once in the midst of the temperamental sanctuary, it is by far the cleanest hot spring that I have seen in Bhutan, probably due to the amount of travel required to get here. As the roads are getting better, I really hope the cleanliness can be maintained, as more and more people will want to experience Dunmang Tachu. Dunmang Tachu has 5 hot springs, each hotter than the other, and with their own medicinal attributes. People come from all over Bhutan to cure arthritis, stomach pain, and headaches. The minerals in the hot spring also have great benefits to the skin. These hot springs are considered a gift from Guru Rinpoche himself, and there are 4 such springs in Bhutan. This is the 2nd spring I've visited, and 2 more to go.
Mara translainda.
Na Tachu no men yungal jasila.
Darigi nimdin chiasila.
Nimdin. Pemegala Tachu.
Da Guru Rinpoche jilab ki be darshan se pemela animishiniinda.
양포가 배추라 빼먹어 생겨라. 엄마 저 나가나 이ሰር자라. 엄마 차치운 양 라닌 개발라. 엄마 라닌 거 엄마 차니낀 띵 신나라. 차치도 남이 삼이 내꼴라라. 이 똥똥가 똑똑 봐. 우리 림부치기 내가 매니지. 남이 삼이 깨린 치발라.
If there's ever a slice of heaven on earth, this would be heaven.
After a much needed rest and relaxation, and with a clear head, I'm back on the road heading further south, once again bouncing up and down on bumpy and dangerous roads towards the lower Keng. But once the road construction is completed, this will be the new expressway to connect Panbang through Ting TB, making movement much easier in these parts of the country. Our vehicle can only take us till Pantang, where I'm met by an eccentric man who sings me a folk song that describes the method of cotton picking and weaving. Long time ago, entire parts of Lower Keng used to be a major hub for cotton products. And this was one of the songs that people used to sing as they worked in the fields. But sadly, these days the culture of cotton textile has disappeared and only the songs remain.
So that was a really old cotton picking and anything that had to do with cotton song, and from a little thing that I understood from this gentleman singing, I believe every lyric or every stanza had to do something with either picking the cotton, spinning the cotton, weaving the cotton, and making clothing out of cotton. So that was quite unique. It is not being practiced anymore. So that was a rare treat. I'm quite lucky. Thank you.
I decide to stay a night at Pantang and enjoy more songs from this interesting fellow.
So today is a fresh new day, and during my travels I've tried practically everything, and this is the first. I'm on a boat, a makeshift boat, crossing the Mangdichu River because we're heading to Jokha, and right across the river we see our horse waiting. So after we cross this, we're gonna pack our horse and probably do about 4 hours of trekking. This should be quite adventurous. It's already an adventure crossing this river, Mangdichu River, which is quite wide. Whew. This is amazing, really. This is, wow, unbelievable. Insane. So we are across the river, and now the real trekking starts. It's probably going to take us about 5 hours, maybe 4 hours, who knows. This is our first time here. Let's do this.
As I begin my long, arduous journey, I immediately notice how different Lower Keng is compared to the northern parts of Keng. The dry, reddish lands bear little if not any crops, rendering the entire landscape almost useless. Poverty is quite evident as the animals and even people look a bit malnourished. I come across few small villages on the way, and every household seems to be brewing the local brew called Ara. People brew this local spirits to earn a meager income. All the houses are in a shamble with broken down roofs, and fields are bone dry, and it's springtime when everything should be lush and green. The place gives off a sense of barrenness, as if there's a big void consuming everything that is essential for the livelihood of the people. But the people immediately welcome us with open arms.
They're having a drink.
They invite me to their humble makeshift kitchen for a refreshing drink, and yes, they serve me bangchang, as it is their culture. I really hope once the road finally reaches these remote villages, their sinam will change for the better. I move on with lightened heart and a humble sense for their enormous compassion, offering and sharing with us little that they have. As we move deeper into the parts of Lower King, I see people transporting mandarins, one of the few cash crops that flourishes sporadically within the area for additional income. They seem to be also transporting water, as it is a huge problem and one can just tell by looking at the condition of the land. We finally reach a place called Lamtang, where we are greeted by the local Tsokpa, who invites us to his humble home to talk as we are being served bangchang once again.
So our horseman has brought us here till Lamtang, and from here we got to change horses to go to Goshing, I believe, or even a little bit further than that. So we're just taking a little break, and in Zhemgang it's a tradition or a cultural thing to just serve bangchang. So I'm drinking a little bit of bangchang and just relaxing. It's nice and cool here, and we're just talking. Suele.
Yada majoda alu ditsude mang beda basosila ma da tirjeni me ba upload pula kayo thela
Las. Alu gadam chi.
guila
Alu gu.
singnam sanam singnam me na hichila dilen ma shung gi lamya na male da tunic panbang da anele kitachamni denchela
Galam gi penmega.
pembela asila
Kada penmela. Kachi dalne penmela.
ta mine midisudi na kerlam me ba kangtong be juda lam gadam chi jogo gala
Halam chi jowa moshla.
sir
Tari halam chi penmela.
gadam chi jogo gala tamela tatu kangtong be jogo mda evde gomdo menala sir
What's really interesting is that in these parts of King, the villages have a system of exchanging the guide and the horses for the same guest as a means for everyone to benefit. So we switch our guide and bid farewell to our previous guide. We pass through more gentle valleys with reddish soil that seems to be begging for even a drop of water. Luckily, we have parched our thirst. I finally realized that from Lamtang, my real journey begins, and we pass through small village of Goshing. I've noticed that the landscape still harvests the remnants of cotton plants, once a formidable cash crop in these parts. But there is still much traveling to do, so I keep moving. A fascinating thing I realized in all the places that I've traveled in Bhutan is that the villages tend to say a particular location is just a few hours walk. But it never seems to be the case. We end up walking for at least 8 to 9 hours. Maybe they're just a fast-paced walker, or we're just too slow. We had been walking for so long, before I even realized it, the sun had set and the darkness engulfed us. In the pitch darkness, we lose our way and didn't even know where we were. Once again, a villager, for the concern of a complete stranger, approached us and invited us to his home for the night. The morning reveals a luscious village of Kaktong, and you have no idea how refreshing it is to see greenery, especially since we have been traveling through dusty and arid lands. This place is so remote, people still assemble their roofs with banana leaves, as metal roofing is a rare sight, especially in these remote parts of Lower King.
So, thank God here in Zhemgang, they still maintain this culture of where people stay in other people's house. It's called Nebyanigi. So, luckily, last night when we were lost, our nice host has given us shelter. So, very, very thankful. Got my rest. Now to my final destination, Jokha.
The last day's journey is quite pleasant, passing through the canopy of the forest, giving us much needed shade coverage. Bamboos grow abundantly here, a sign that I'm getting closer to my destination, where people thrive on products made with bamboo and cane.
구성볼.
I passed through a place called Ngangla, where once the powerful koches of these regions held much power. The path leads us right through the grand palace of Ngangla Koche, which is located beautifully on the top of the hill, covered by tall, gorgeous cypress trees, providing much privacy for the people living in that palace. I'm sure they're the descendants of the Koche.
So Zhemgang in general is quite remote, but a place that I'm going to, Jokha, is within Zhemgang. It's even more remote. And I'm heading there because the people of Jokha are known to weave amazing bangchungs, products made out of bamboos and canes. And they're known for that particular type of products. It's quite a walk to Jokha, but it should be definitely worth it because these bangchungs are quite beautiful. Not only bangchungs, but different bamboo products. So it should be quite a treat. So I'm finally here in Jokha, our final destination here in Zhemgang, and I can't wait to go explore the village.
As I walked through the village, many curious eyes were on me, as I'm a newcomer, a stranger in their village. And I'm sure they don't get much visitors in their village. But the villagers are very welcoming, as school kids greet us with a kuzu zangpo and bowing to show respect, even if I was a complete stranger. This village seems to gently move in its own pace, not being governed by the striking hands of the clock. And I'm heading to the local school to meet a young boy named Sangye, who will tell me more about Jokha.
Ngi ming sangwon du zer labi nga lo che nga lang sui ngi yu Jokha le in Jokha zemi di nga chi ki keo indira beru Zhemgang le bewachin nimlam dungi sidang penbang dungkha le bewachin nimlam sumgi si jo be omda sane Jokha gani wa yam gasa tang hu dem na hebi garilam min di kangil di dula de garilam yesalu di gari gibe pame wala garilam mesalu di ta gibe ma penbang na nim ni zum di chilemba jugola chimchi chabru chakshu chilemba juro ma nim ni zum shi be jugola kang to chabe lem jube devindi ngachi garilam mesalu namsam kauche mele Yuka Milo le Chepachin Chikton Duja Lapchi Yula Chim Gung Bewachin Chikjang up to Dichil Chuka Ziming Chachamidi Nima Lam Somran Rimpochi na Jimbe Capsulu Nagi Misugi Sem Josemichi Danda Mimela Divendi Lam Rimpochigi na Joka Zetakta Imela nga dato pecha lapse lobde di Jokha midi lobde chungwa zer shu inla mashi ngachi lobde na lobtu yongdum jigje shipchu ye di beru losa lobrim dukpa singchu ye lobda na juni khakchewela 가치운서진 팜 니처라 미나 밴디기 벙중 타 송베 nga lobrim tukpana hichila tile lobrim tukpana le ngara picha saginte tani beina di gashi umzewo chin shule yore mitopga noti tile yok tokshimle pamlu dinlin jeni gi dinlu ina ngachi ki yu shenda mado ngin pam zampu kable darcha pelte diseti zumchilu yang ngachi sugi laglin tapti yepoi kechi zampu sarzo yula gachira beni yip mo zewachin bangchung lakchung zem disu takti mangil zoni yula ngachi nyumalerang pam zampu sugi sazo kiletendi mangil su sazo letendi sazo ina gachi umzo chin ngachi du gekamna shemga zonka chamchimato shen gekap gatilura mindu seshunme ngachi nashin suki dagzin mabe gagi mi veseshunila chitamle yang rangi zampa uglu inrum ga zir labdo zumbe shingi yizum numkurdang logmi midi beru pam zampo sugi shicha yip mase ngagi yu gagopai jukin dile tente in ze shuni
Bye, Sangye. Bye.
Having a better understanding of Joka village and what the people do thanks to Sangye, I head towards Joka Koche's castle, a piece of historical landmark that played a pivotal role in shaping not only Joka village and the surrounding villages, but the whole of Zhemgang. Joka Koche was a powerful family whose power extended even as far as doors of India, and the signs of his power could still be seen in the architecture of the castle. The front facade of the castle is distinctively separated in half with two colors and shapes of stone slabs. It is said that the left side of the front facade, with darker and smaller stone slabs, was built by his workers from India, and the larger and lighter color stone slabs were built by his workers from Bhutan.
So I'm standing right in front of the most famous Joka Koche castle, and the castle itself is quite a wonder. I mean, the locals say it's more than 1,000 years old. And what I'm even more excited about is meeting the direct descendant of the Koche himself, his grandson. And this is going to be amazing, so let's go meet him. Kuzampula.
Kuzom,
Na yitsenla.
pigimi, rinzidoji.
rinzidoji lasola. Te Joka Koche gi cho ngombara naina la.
Ina, inji yuni di yule sila kung dato gaya mi na.
Las.
Jamtirin.
Lasola.
Hema ni apadi ngachena kerenam sungi sajewe kablute. Sashep sitang la. Gara sajemi linkurbe ngala boka pankar sheneti ansu gara kogi be jedinela. 거기 주지당 박이 차에 줄기는라. 아니 지고잉 아니라. 예, 거기 부 충수딩의 아빠이라. 내 아빠게 주진이 박이 마음이 배 구승배 자수디디라.
라소라.
아게 안게 디스긴데 나체로 대베 인시 랍사샤미라. 제가 지게 때 중국강 지마시면은 디기베 리스는 많아라. 안디 하모고 미디안 위아수이라.
So this is quite sad how the history of Joka Koche and the castle itself is being lost to the generation. During its glory days, this was quite site, and the people that was ruling it were quite prominent. So this is really sad, but I hope after this they could really get in touch with their own history and preserve it, which will last for generation and generation to come, which will be very important. La sola. La sola. So this is the famous Yuli plant, which is used for weaving bangchungs, the famous bangchungs that comes out of Jokha. And it's similar to bamboos, but also different because it's almost like a vine type and it just crawls up the trees. And the biggest problem with this is because long time ago here in Jokha, I'm sure these things were growing around the village like in a mass numbers, but because bangchung has been woven for ages and ages, they're running short of these plants and they have to go even further into the forest to collect these Yuli plants to weave bangchungs. And what's even more of a problem now is because more people are weaving bangchungs these days than compared to the olden days, because one of their primary income making products is the bangchungs, because they sell the bangchungs. So since there's more people weaving bangchungs, there's a problem of these particular plants, Yuli plants, disappearing within this region. So that's the problem, really.
Jokha really is the place to find the best bangchungs, along with other bamboo and cane products. Women from every household can be seen in the process of making bangchungs. Some are just starting as they strip the strips from the Yuli plant. Few busy weaving the intricate patterns of this unique product, and some putting the finishing touch to the finished product. Every day these women wake up early in the morning, and after finishing their morning chores, they sit in the front porch working on bangchungs, which could be at any stage of the progress, while basking in the sun.
해마라테 파 리컬레 조심래 님질로 바심래 꾸시지 바온 때파 조심래 꾸시지 바심래 때 안딜래 디 안디기 나 온데 시르니니 때 시루 같이 니스 배우진 때 추진네 게구 추탐네 죠 안디 조심래나 안디 때 딜레 디니 심래 때 자포 kesimle de delelation. Ni andi kesimle ani zola dil. Te andi gidi nimrele lo te kucheri mi tok de la lo gidi ani timte am so gidi ani lo de baum.
So an interesting thing here in Jokha is you'll see in every household people actually weaving bangchungs and coloring the dye for the bamboo and the canes to make that interesting color on the bangchung. So I'm gonna go visit one of the households and check out how they actually get all these things done. So this is the Yuli plant, and I'm here with Yangchen Lamo, who has been practically making bangchungs since she was very young, and she's gonna show me how they actually cut it to make the strips that are used to weave the bangchungs. So you cut it in half, I believe. everything well, make sure I need to check it out. So it's basically the peel of the Yuli plant. It's the cover of it, and it's quite thin and flexible, so you could weave it into any type of shape, I guess. It's quite amazing how fast she does this. So that would be one strip of yuli plant, which is used to weave the bangchungs, and this could be either dyed, so you could make it into I believe they have 3 different colors: green, yellow, and red. So they would either dye this in any or those colors. So this is how they dye the strips of yuli, and it's quite interesting. It was in the olden days, they actually went to India to buy these particular dyes, but these days a particular store would sell it here in the village. So just check out these beautifully woven patterns, and this is what happens after the yuli plant is stripped and dyed and then woven into this amazing pattern, and this will become a bangchung, a beautiful bangchung when this is done.
Once a month, all the villages in this region bring their products to the Geok Center to sell as a mass, ensuring everyone earns. These products are then transported and sold to the rest of the country and possibly even outside of the country.
So these are the final products made out of bamboo and cane that have been woven by the people of Jokha. These are their livelihood, and during the old times people have paid taxes with these products, and now they're still surviving with these products by selling these products everywhere, even in India and all over Bhutan. I really hope this tradition will continue for generations and generations, because it really is part of our own culture, and truly is beautiful. So as my travels of the Kendrick Namsum comes to an end, I'll bid you farewell with one last piece of historical fact. The Kengpas have been trading with the Dwars of India for a very long time. Therefore, Kachin Bujijule Kaine Shede, which means take it easy, and I'll see you next time.
Zhemgang may seem like a place of desolation, but when traveling this land, there is nothing short of exhilaration. A Dzongkhag divided into 3 parts of the Kendrick Namsum, concocting the ancient triforce of history, culture, and religion to personify the Tsawasum. The rugged land have given birth to even rugged people with gentle hearts, inspiring the people to survive even at extreme conditions, with hopes in their hearts. As they honor the past, Zhemgang looks forward into the future for a promising start. My journey of Zhemgang might have ended, but it is only the beginning of Zhemgang to tell her stories of the Kendrick Namsum for another 1,000 years to come. So until next time, in another Dzongkhag, goodbye.